So I've never used wood glue before, and this wood glue that I have is however many years old. So before I start gluing this record player together, I glued this together. It's been about 9 days. Wow. Holy shit. I didn't know the glue was this tough. Well, no wonder they use it. So that's what it took. I think that this holds some good strength. So that coupled with some screws should be good enough. But I have now unlocked glue. I can start using it with a little bit of confidence. Now I was going to do something fancy with this leg, trying to hide this groove, but honestly I don't care that much, so I just chiseled it away and then sanded it down. And I'll have to do the same for this. Now I'm going to have to finish this piece here by bringing it over, so taking this piece off, cutting, putting it on there, then we can glue this together. Oh, there's pegs. Oh, look at that. I don't think anybody's going to notice that. I do not have long enough clamps to clamp the length of it, so gravity will have to do. These locomotive springs from a 1920s train will be plenty of weight. And now I need to drill screw holes so I can glue it and I can fasten it down with screws instead of having to have big clamps, I think. Here's my hardware from the disassembly of this cabinet. Now for this piece, I'm going to mark it here on the back. Probably just wrecked that wood, but whatever. Again, I kind of stopped caring. Now that is some weird wood. That caught good. See, when I ripped off that other piece of wood that was connected to this, some of that plywood came with it. So I cut this one a bit too short by just a fine amount, which means that I can slip it in there without having to move this up. But that means that I don't have to worry about gluing it when I glue everything else in. Meanwhile, this one is a bit too tight, or I'll have to glue it in there when I glue the other parts in there. Now, unfortunately, my glue was out for so many years that it all hardened at the cap, and when I twisted it off, it snapped the top off. So that's a piece of tape over it now. Hey! Let this sit for a few days and that should be good. I was putting linseed oil on something else, and well, if I already have linseed oil on this brush, I might as well paint some on there. Looks a little bit better. It's been 2 days and let's see what... Oh, I just realized the glue dried clear. I was afraid it'd be yellow. Well, that's nice. Ow. Fuck. Yep, I messed that up. Oh well. At a certain point I don't really care too much. My workbench is not level. It's off by like 2 millimeters, which is fine. I'm not too concerned. Yeah, that's just way too stiff. hate that. Why does it do that? I'm not binding up on anything. It's all this. This has lost its fun really fast. Fucking neighbor with something on my yard. No wonder it's fucking up my workbench. There's all these nails in the bottom of it. If you're gonna put a pad on the bottom, make sure that the nail doesn't stick through. Finally. Imagine if I was moving that around on my wood floor. It would have fucking ruined that. I mean, this is wood flooring and it ruined it. This fucking thing, oh my god. Why? If you couldn't tell, I finally decided to give up on this project. Now, a lot of people would complain like, oh, you never get anything done. Well, the entire reason for this channel is to learn something, and I've already learned something from this, and so I'm losing my interest in having the actual final product because, well, I found something, I messed around with it, I learned from it, and I don't really want to keep it because, well, I'm deciding upon a new rule. I'm not going to mess with particle board. I should have probably done that from the beginning. Because as I'm moving this around, and it was already pretty scuffed up before, I mean, and there's a reason it was in the trash, but this plastic covered particle board with like this printed wood grain on it just scratches up, and I can't sand that to redo it. So if I'm going to do something, I'm just going to do it with solid wood. Now these edges I probably could sand, but I just don't like the design of it. But I learned a lot about gluing. I learned there's some limitations. Seems like backing up a glue with metal fasteners or wooden pegs, I could see that too, would be a good idea. Mechanical connections. The record player module is busted, so it's really quite a piece of junk. But it was a good learning experience. So this is going to turn destructive because I really like the radio. I'll take that module out, and then we will actually do a destructive test because I wouldn't want to have this unless I could stand on it because, well, this is going to get stood on. Anything with a flat solid surface that's a piece of furniture is going to get stood on eventually, and you can't have that break. Whoops. I'm glad that I proved the concept though. So I would make one with better components, probably brass fittings, nice solid ones, and I'd make the wood a lot thicker because this is just too thin. Maybe I'm just not accustomed to, oh hey, nice. This is garbage, which is frustrating. Another thing I'll have to do is fix my Phillips head screwdriver, which for some reason is all chowdered up. And evidently I only have one, which is a surprise. I went through all my tools and I have like 40 flathead screwdrivers and only one Phillips head. So I wonder why that is. Do flatheads just sell far more than Phillips heads? I don't know. It's really the only kind of good part of it. And even that, it only picks up one radio station in my workshop with the big antenna. So it might be garbage too. But, because normally I can pick up like 30 or so radio stations. Maybe it's missing a few capacitor. I mean, maybe the capacitors are going bad. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't try to take this off before. I would have wrecked the whole thing just trying to get this off. I feel better about that. Something's moving. Oh yeah, this base piece is kind of coming undone. Alright, so this is the glued side over here. Yes. Let's see how well it holds up to being dropped. Not bad, not bad. Oh, no, it's not. If I was going to make something, I think I'd want it to make like really, really sturdy to where it could fall off the back of a moving truck, you know? Especially with this oak that I got. It'd be really nice. I think gluing would be a good option, but I would need to add more fasteners. The glue did not fail, well, it didn't fail at the top, it failed at the bottom. And it appears I didn't pre-drill that enough, so it started to crack this wood anyway, so I'll need to remember to drill larger holes. Yeah, that's all scuffed up. Oh, weird. That was so weak. That is so weird. That is like plastic or something that covers that. That's weird. Oh, look how easy that cracked. I'm not impressed by that at all. That like popped right out. Alright, now these pieces, I don't know what kind of wood they are, but they are solid, so... Oh, that's not even solid, never mind. That's particle board too. Now sadly a storm's coming in, so I can't burn this right now. But it'll be a good fire for later. And what's really nice is, that was like 3 piles of stuff, because I kept all the leftover bits just in case I needed them. 3 piles of stuff in my workshop that were just taking up space, so this is a good way to clean up the workshop. Now that I have that out of the way, the radio will be fun for a project. Maybe I can take some of that white oak that I'm turning into lumber and we can make like a nice little case for that. But I'll wait until I get some inspiration for that. And then I'll keep that around and maybe for like a week. And I'll open it up and see if there's any repairability to it. And if not, I'll chuck it. Can't tell you how, like, I've probably thrown away like 50 record players because they're just everywhere and records sound terrible. But now that I had that cleaned off the workbench, focus on more mechanical things, which is fun. I know a lot of people, whenever I cancel a project, a lot of people complain that, oh, you're just giving up. Well, giving up, knowing when to give up is a very good idea because sometimes you go down a dead-end road. Now, this was definitely not a failure because I learned a lot. But you need not to be a sunk cost fallacists, because I spent a few days working on this record player, and then like just yesterday it just hit the point where I wasn't going to learn anything else. I was getting near the end anyway, and it just wasn't going to end up in something I was happy with, so I might as well just burn the darn thing and then move on to something else with what I learned. And especially if I find another record player at the dump, I might grab it and I might try cutting it up again, but at that time I'll have more skill coming at it a second time. However, if it's mostly particle board, I'll just let them burn it. It's fine. I might just take the radio out because that's really all I care about. Oh well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya. I'm cleaning up and I'm still finding piles of this stuff just left over from that darn record player.